how you doing there today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? So we are going to go ahead and do a review of the T-34 Shielded. It's the tank that you can win if you do 30 of 50 missions. I got the lazy way of doing it and just paid for it because it came with some gold, it came with a bunch of these personal reserves, came with a couple special camos, so I just did it that way just to get it and be done with it. I was afraid that I wasn't going to have the time to do the missions because I can't guarantee that I can get on every night. Like so far, um, I think I've only got maybe, oh geez, not even 20 missions done. So anyways, I figured I'd go ahead, just buy it, do a review on it, and let you know how it is. So I did 3 matches in it. You guys are going to see the first two. The first one, every time I played it, I was low tier. If it was tier, sevens, I was low tier to five. It was sixes, I was in a five. So I was never top tank. So you'll get a good idea of what you can and can't do with this, and really kind of how to play it. To be honest with you, you got to be really conservative. You get 500 hit points. Even though it's got spaced armor, it's not like you're super Pershing with some really good thick plates. I mean, if you look on the top of this, you can see it's just really thin things of spaced armor that go around the turret, and you can see right here where it's got spaced armor along the sides of the track. So basically, if they've got a high enough penetrating round, they're going to go through that spaced armor, and then they'll go through the tank too. I did bounce like one round on each one of the matches I had. I didn't look to see where they shot me, so hopefully when we're doing the review, the replay, we'll go over it and kind of look and see where they hit it. But anyways, let's go ahead and do a review on this and see what you get. So you get a tier 5 tank with a tier 5 gun, which is good. 120 standard pen, 150 for your premium, 38 for your HE. Average damage is 110 per hit. 156 damage for your HE shell. And we'll skip over to my stats. I went ahead with a gun rammer, gun lane drive, and coated optics because it was kind of blind. Your lower tiers usually are, and the aim time was pretty horrendous. Even with the gun lane drive and 100% crew, I could only get it down to 2.9 seconds. So you'll see the aim time it really, hits you where it hurts. I mean, 2 seconds isn't god awful, but it's also not very good. Anyways, my rate of fire is 17.38 rounds a minute, so my reload is 3.45. Turret traverse is 36, which is pretty good, and the hull traverse is 37.55, which is pretty good. Now, you do get 500 hit points. It does have spaced armor, so it seems a little more sluggish, but for what you get in spaced armor, I would rather have the speed than the spaced armor because it seems like pretty much everything goes through you anyways. I mean, you got just as much of a chance of bouncing around without the spaced armor as you do with the spaced armor on this. The gun depression is pretty good at -8, plus 28. Aim time, like I said, even with the gun lane drive, I could only get it down to 2.9 seconds. Dispersion really is not too good for medium at 0.43, and you can see that I've got basically nothing really to help it. I didn't use vents or anything, which would have helped it, but it would only knocked it down to like 0.42. So just with as bad as the vision was, I wanted to be able to see the stuff to shoot it than have it shooting me and me not seeing them. So that's why I went with the coated optics. My average damage per minute is 1912. You get 500 hit points, and your hull armor and the front is 45. Turret armor is 45, and on the front you have no spaced armor anywhere on the front of the tank. So it's not like on your Super Pershing where you got a front, upper, and lower plate of spaced armor. This is all just standard armor in the front. So if they hit you in the front, they're going to go through you. Your side is 40 on the hull, 45 on the turret, and then this is also where you do have your spaced armor. On the rear, you get 40 on the hull and 45 on the turret, and you can see that there is no spaced armor on the back of the hull either. So basically it's just the sides of the tank and around the turret. So if you can get hull down, you got an alright chance of maybe bouncing some stuff, but you can see where if they're close enough, they can still put rounds through these slots And if it's a decent enough gun that they're shooting you with, they can usually go right through your gun mantle. So, you know, even with the spaced armor, it's still not super fantastic. It's 32.2 tons, so it's pretty standard size medium tank. 500 horsepower engine, so your specific power to weight is 15.53. And like I said, it does seem pretty sluggish. But, you know, I think again, it's because it's got this spaced armor, so they're looking at it as if extra weight. Where are we at here? Top speed is 56 in forward, negative 20 in reverse. And it 56 maybe going down a hill. On straightaways, I think I was keeping it maybe around 30-ish in the high 30s. So I don't foresee getting up to 56 on straightaways or anything. Concealment's pretty good at 18.79. You know, it's a medium tank, so for a medium tank, that's actually pretty darn good. View range is 380, and that's because I went with coated optics, and signal range is 548. So anyways, that's kind of the gist of the T-34 shielded. If you got the opportunity to go get it the freeway, I would just get it the freeway. It's just definitely not worth paying. I think it was 22 bucks or 25 bucks or whatever, unless you want to get the, like I said, the gold and the personal reserves and stuff like that. If those are what makes it worth getting it, then, you know, by all means do it. But if you have the opportunity to just get it, you know, doing the missions, I would just do it that way. But anyways, if you want to hold on, I'll have two replays for you. The very first one doesn't turn out all too well. Second one we do a little bit better, but I also played it a lot more conservative and just kind of stayed back and did more sniping than anything. So we're going to hold on. I'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, so here we are in the T-34 shielded on Tundra, and I am bottom tier. Basically top tier is tier 6, and then a bunch of tier 5s. So it's kind of strange, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 tier 6s, and then everything else is tier 5. Weird that they don't have any tier 4s in there. But anyway, so we're bottom tier. Basically what I'm going to do is shoot over to this area over here and kind of see what I can do. Just kind of try and back up any of our heavies, because I imagine probably one or two of our heavies will go over that way, so we'll just kind of play a support role in that area. So even though this is the shielded version of the T-34, so it's got a little bit extra armor, don't count on it at all whatsoever. And sorry about that, guys. And yeah, just don't count on it, because it's nothing like super thick, like super Pershing, or not super, yeah, the super Pershing. You know, it's got that spaced armor on that. Well, that's a nice thick plate. This is like if you look at it, it looks like some Mountain Dew cans that were squished together to make a, you know, a little tiny shield around the turret and, you know, along the tracks. So it's nothing really super. I mean, just don't, you know, think, oh, I got spaced armor, it's gonna bounce everything, because I'm telling you, it won't. You can see along here, it's got spaced. Trying to do this, trying to show you guys here. You can see right here how it's got this shielding over here. The front plate, though, is just a standard front plate. There's no spaced armor on the front of this, so you don't have anything special on the front, just the front of the turret, where if they shoot the gun mantle, if they've got a high enough penetrating round, they're going to go right through that anyways. And spaced armor really, especially this thin a spaced armor, it's not really going to help out a lot against AP and APCR. It'll just go right through it anyways, as long as it's high penetrating enough. If it's a lower penetrating round, yeah, you might bounce it, but I would rather not, you know, take the risk of getting hit and finding out that way. So we're popping up here, and looks like we got several heavies coming this way. So our M4 gets up here, and he takes a pop shot at the KV-1S. And I just want to get up here and see if I can get a shot off. And this is my first match, so just want to get kind of positioned here to see what I can get a shot on this guy here. Just waiting for him to pop out and just see if we can take take his mistake of pulling up too far and, you know, use it against him. And this is always my favorite when you're sitting here and then one of the friendlies on your team pulls right up in front of you. So we hit the KV-1S, go through him, and then I got to worry about shooting the Tiger 131 on my own team because he keeps pulling out in front of me. And then this is my favorite thing. So this asshole here on the T-34-85 just pushes against me and then just keeps pushing me. Because he's got to squeeze in here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tanks. And he's just got to make sure he gets in there. So he's going to go push me forward, so I'm getting pushed in front of the enemy tanks. I love asshole retards like that. Don't go somewhere else. You know, he's just got to get that shot off. So no matter what, he's just going to push me right in front of the enemy to get that shot off. So I'm trying to back up. Well, then I back into this guy. And they won't back up to get out of your way to let you through. They just sit there like fucking morons. Look at this. So I'm just trying to get out of here. All I'm doing is trying to get out of here, and these asswipes won't even let you out. What a fucking bunch of retards. I'm like, yeah, these retards can have fun over here. I'm getting out of here. I was a little pissed, so I pushed up against the VK and just held them here for a minute and be like, yeah, this is what it's like when somebody tries pushing backwards and you won't let them move, you fucking idiot. But I did it for like a second just to be like, you know, this is what it's like. Knock it off, you douchebag. And then to turn around, the M4 turns around, bumps into me, and does the same thing. I'm like, God damn, I'm just a bunch of fucking morons here. What I should have done with this many people in this area, considering we had 1 tank or 2 tanks go that way, I should have just disengaged. We got tanks coming up behind us now. Disengaged, which I do, and came over this way. I should have done it a lot sooner with this many tanks in this one area. Is just disengaged, turn around, and came back the other way. I do decide here in a second to do that. I waited a little too long to do it. So the T-150 gets a shot on me, and there goes over half my health. I went from 500 to 192 hit points in one shot. And then I see these guys coming up behind us, and so I turn around and decide I need to come over this way. I can't get my gun down far enough to shoot at the ELC. Take a quick pop shot at the ELC and miss. He comes up here, and I miss. Bounce around from the E2, bounce off him, and he pens me. I take another quick shot. I did stay on standard rounds. I thought I switched it to premium. But I get a shot into the E2 and end up getting knocked out by the E2. So this team was just pretty miserable. I mean, they're getting melted quicker than the enemy team can pull the trigger. So, yeah. This match didn't turn out too very well. So anyways, yep, that's the T-34 shielded. Like I said, don't count on the shielded version or part of the T-34, because it's not, like I said, it's not like a nice thick plate of spaced armor. It's like some Pepsi and Mountain Dew cans squished together, and it basically goes right through you pretty much anyways, if they've got a high enough penetrating round. I mean, I did bounce one round, but it was from an E2 with a standard round, which standard pen on that is not very high. And yeah, so our team just got pretty well melted. Thought I went back over to the Tiger 131 over there. I guess I did. But yep, anyways, we end up losing this match miserably. But yeah, so that was my very first match in the T-34 shielded. So after getting a taste of how the armor really didn't, you know, help out that much, I thought, okay, next match I'm going to play a lot more conservative. I'm going to stay back. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to do mainly sniping. That's if I was bottom tier. But obviously I didn't know that at this time. But if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have some post-game stats, and I'll have another match for you. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so as I tell you, I always do, I try and show you the first match. Unfortunately, we had a team full of idiots. I was pushing up where there was nobody, at the very beginning on the west side of the map. Next thing I'm trying to back up, and I had like 6 tanks behind me, and the idiots wouldn't just move out of the way. I mean, I was fighting with all I could to get backed up without getting hit by you name it coming at me. I mean, I've got 500 hit points, and obviously T-150 hit me and ripped off 300 of my 500 hit points. So basically, I was a one-shot right after I got hit one single time from one enemy tank on the enemy team there, because you don't get a lot of hit points, and it seems like every time I play a low-tier tank, I'm bottom of the barrel. Yeah, so so this isn't very impressive at all by any means. We ended up, yeah, that really sucked actually. The E2, we hit him one time for 117, knocked out his track, bounced one of his rounds, and he got hit for 159 upon me destroying his track. The KV-1S, we hit him one time for 123, and knocked out his track, and he got hit for 195 upon me destroying his track, and 8 for me spotting him. So I got like 2 shots off, and I still did almost half right in the middle of the damage. So, our top tiers just really kind of didn't do any favors. Our Tiger 131 did pretty good. Yeah, so we did a whopping 240 damage, 188 experience, 8 shots, 4 hit, 2 pen. I try shooting all standard rounds as much as I can. I think I actually got kind of frustrated and switched over to premium rounds on this match. I was just getting pissed because I wasn't penning stuff, and I wasn't even hitting stuff. But yeah, so we did whopping 240 damage. We got hit 4 times, 3 pen, 1 bounce for 115. We damaged 2, destroyed 0. Damage with our assistance was 362, and we lost 4,986 credits. Yeah, I must have. I think I did switch it over to premium rounds because I just got pretty well pissed off because it kept bouncing off shit that it seemed like it should have went through. I would definitely go for the free version of this. It's just, you know, it's got some spaced armor, but you're talking, you know, nothing in the front. So basically they hit you anywhere in the front plate, it's going to go through you. The only hope you have is that they hit you in the front on the turret where the spaced armor is, and it's just, yeah, it's nothing special. I mean, this tank it's just a tier 5 premium that, yeah, I just make sure you get the free version of it. I went out and I just got I just knew I couldn't get the 30 battles in or whatever it was, 30 points to get it in time, so I just figured I'd pay whatever 20 bucks for it and get it. You get a bunch of stuff with it anyways. I got a bunch of gold, and you get a bunch of these personal reserves and stuff. So for me, just the personal reserves and stuff were worth it anyways. So, but yeah, that was pretty much a Muppet team, and you know, they all went one way. And when you go to back up and you can't back up because you're getting pushed against by 4 other tanks, it really kind of sucks. But yeah, anyways, so if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have another battle for you, and hopefully that one goes a little bit better. So you guys want to hold on, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we are in our next match in the T-34 Shield on Pohadwolka. Basically, what I'm going to do is, being that I am low tier again, is try and just be support for the nice big KV1s and OIs and, you know, stuff with the big boom sticks. Basically, they got an OI experimental. A lot of these, the KV or IKV 103, those have big enough guns where they can one-shot you. So you got to be real careful, and I already know from experience on the previous match that this does not have, it's not like you're super piercing with the great spaced armor. This has got spaced armor, but it's a minimal amount, so if it's got a high enough penetrating round, it's still going to go through you. So basically I'm just going to take up a position over here in the bushes and trees and just kind of play just a sniper role for a little bit and see what happens, see what the enemy team decides to do, and go from there. So we roll on over here, and I was surprised our artillery went there. You know, if I were arty, I would have been, you know, positioning up back here. So we're going to stop up here by this T-34, just kind of hold up for a minute and see what happens, because a lot of times you'll get tanks that'll come up YOLOing trying to get up into the bush up here. And You know, looking at the chance that we had of winning this match, it was almost 0-0. And then to be nice, our tank destroyer here, I didn't realize he was there until I went to pull forward. He parks right in front of me. It's like, you stupid ass. So I figure I'm going to pull up here a little bit. Just move up a little bit at a time. I don't want to overextend myself because our heavy tanks are too much of a, wusses to actually pull forward. So they're going to let the low tiers push forward. Ah, gotta love teams like this. What do you expect for low tiers, though? Now, I have coated optics on this, so it is stretching my view range out. A lot of people at low tier like to go with nods because you end up, kind of setting, but I just figured this is a medium tank. It's just not worth going with the nods because you're still going to be moving a lot more. Just kind of waiting for anything to get lit up so we can take some start taking some shots here. And I start seeing these rounds come in. I didn't think we were lit. I assumed because they've got a leaf blower that it reloads so quick. He's probably just taking blind shots in these bushes where, up along in here where most people are going to set. And here in a minute, you'll see a round come flying in, and it's like right back here. So he's just taking blind shots. I do the same thing. You get a lot of round. Yeah, see right there. He's just taking blind shots where tanks might set. So I back up a little bit and see if we can get our gun down enough to shoot at the OI, but he's on the other side of the hill there, so ain't gonna happen. The nice thing about this is it's got I'll go back to school. It has APCR for your premium and your standard round, so the rounds do have a pretty good speed to them. The only problem is the aim time on this is not the best, and when you're moving from target to target, trying to, hopefully one of them gets up high enough so you get a shot off, it's just figured I'd move forward a little bit, see if I can get a better shot at this M4. And we already lost our OI. Was that the experimental? Our OI. Why don't I just do this? It'd be a lot smarter. And give me 1 second, guys. I just noticed, for some reason, I don't know if you guys are having the same problem, but my thing, the mini-map right here, I'll set it so that it's easier to see through like that, and then I'll have a match, go back to have another match, and it's right back to being dark again. But anyway, so the Churchill 3 gets lit up here, and I think I do switch over to premium rounds because the front of that thing is just, it's got darn good armor for a tier, tier 5. So I think I bounced that one. Yeah. Shoot another, then I end up penning it with a standard, so I shoot a premium. I think I shoot one more premium and I switch over to standard. Yeah, and then we switch back over to standard. It's funny when you do the replays, it just shows it as, oh, there it goes. I was going to say it was like it was halfway reloaded. Yeah, T-34 got himself stuck in a pickle because he was going up there with somebody else, but then he got to the position where, yeah, he couldn't back up quick enough, and the guy he was with got killed. That's the problem. When you overextend, you go up too far. Even when you have somebody with you, a lot of times you get up too far, you can't back up in that, you get in that position where you're too far forward and you can't back up, because you back up, then you're just going to get shot to heck from whatever. But I see our T-67's moving up there, so I figured I'm going to move up to another position here. Feeling a little more confident that, I'm going to be able to move up because they've got some tank destroyers, but I'm seeing, up on the hill, their P-43 bias or BIS, and some other stuff was up that way. So I figured I'm just going to get up here and see if I can get some shots at whatever the T-67 just lit up, and I see that grill. I want, if anything, to get rid of that grill. I've got shots at that T-67, but I'm going to take shots and get rid of the artillery. So I actually just took the grill out there. I think I took the grill out. It just didn't show. Yeah, it didn't show that I killed him down here, but I believe I did kill him. I ended up getting a blind shot in there for damage. I think that might have been it. But now you can see our KV2, our 60 GFT, they're all staying back behind me. And we do have a Crusader coming up there, so I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and push up, get kind of in the road. That way, if I have to, I can dive off to the right, dive off to the left, you know, whatever I have to try cover in my own keister. But I see the leaf blower, and he's my next target that I'm going to go for. He stops just as I go to shoot, and I knock his track off, but we end up finishing him off. Now I'm feeling pretty confident that there's only maybe a T-67 down there and an artillery. I have a feeling their tank destroyers are kind of over by the cap. So, nope, the grill I didn't finish. I thought I did finish the grill off, but I didn't. Now here in a second, my turret did something really screwy. I was aiming at the T-67, shooting at the T-67, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but it shows me looking back here. So it was really goofy. I'm kind of pay attention to this, but I'm going to go to what I saw so you can see what I saw. So I bounced around from the T-67, but we're also at a pretty good angle too. Right there. Now I was aiming forward. You saw me aiming forward. Now look, I was aiming at the T-67. Now all of a sudden I'm aimed over here, and I was looking back here. That is the goofiest frickin' thing. I'm sitting here playing. I'm like, what in the hell just happened? So we'll go back to... I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know I got disconnected or what happened. It was goofy as hell. But yeah, we had like, the odds of us winning that match were pretty much none. And you can see now they're, you know, we're definitely on the up and up to where it's saying, hey, wait a minute, these guys are going to win. That's why I never look at these numbers down here for your win chances or win percentage. I don't know which mod that I added, you know, that. Usually it's the XPM part of it, but I had it shut off so that didn't show up, and it showed up, so I got to figure out how to actually shut that off. But I have a feeling that their IKV 103 is probably setting either somewhere around the base or maybe along this and the bushes over here, because I see obviously their medium and their heavies are over here. So I'm thinking we need to get on cap and start capping them. The OI is definitely not fast enough to get back to their cap. The P43 and the T-34-85, they probably will be, but they're going to have to deal with this tank destroyer, plus the grill and the M4 are probably dropping rounds on their head. The only fear I had was that IKV 103 being up on the hill and having a good enough view range to see me, because the gun on that thing will basically, I've got 380 hit points, he can one-shot me. So, yes, I had a feeling if anything he's either going to pop over the tracks right here or he's over in this area somewhere, and so I kept aimed right in here. And our KV2, there, yeah, and there he is. I don't know how much he hit our... Yeah, because look at our KV2. He's down to 59 hit points now, so... KV2 got lucky. He just didn't get throttled and knocked out. But I think the 103 either bopped over the hill or just backed up enough. I aim in. Round goes high. He shoots and misses. But the KV2 gets the kill, which, hey, good for him. Well, we're up to 3 kills, and we're capping them out. And I don't think there's any way... Because with our 60 GFT right there, he's going to spot any of those things trying to come back. But looks like they continue to try getting on cap, and we end up capping them out. But, yeah, so we ended up winning that match, and it ended up being a pretty good one. I know it shows we did 919 damage, but we got a couple blind shots in there, so we actually did more than that. So if you want to hold on for a minute, we will have some post-game stats, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so as you can see, the first match was quite the shit show, but the second match played it a lot more conservative. Didn't zoom up there and end up getting myself killed. This thing, I've 3 matches, 3 times in a row, low tier. This one I was low tier, and let's see, this is a tier 5. Yeah, tier 5 and a tier 6. I think it was 6. Tier 6 was the highest on. Yeah, I believe tier 6 was highest. The match before that, tier 7s, and the match before that was tier 6s. So, yeah, every match I played in this, I ended up being low tier. It's nothing, to be honest with you. I mean, if you can get it for free, get it for free. There's nothing very special about about this. Basically, when you're low tier, one shot and half to 3/4 of your health is gone. You got 500 hit points, so yeah, you get dwindled pretty. I mean, literally 2 shots and you can be dead if you're low tier. OIs, KV2s, they'll one shot you. It's got the spaced armor, but it's nothing that's really gonna. You can't count on it because it's just little flimsy plates, so it's nothing really like, whoa, I got spaced armor, I can bounce rounds. Because like this one here, I got hit twice and I did bounce one round for 115. I think I shot all standard rounds on that match. I might have shot one premium. But, so, that was a Master Badge Class 2. Pfeffer Effect, a Bruiser. We got 1 Bond and a Pashkuli's Medal for killing 2 of the artilleries. We hit the Churchill 3. I did shoot him once or twice with premium, then I switched back to standard. The front of that thing is just phenomenal. But we hit him 3 times for 303, finished him off. Knocked out a track. SU-85, we hit him 1 time for 109. Knocked out a track on him. We lit him up and he got hit for 241 upon a spotting. T-67, we hit him twice for 199. Bounced one of his rounds for 115. Lit him up, he got hit for 51 upon a spotting. And then both the artilleries, the grill, we hit him 3 times for 240, finished him off. Knocked out his fuel tank track and destroyed his engine. And the leaf blower, he hit him twice for a 181, finished him off, knocked out his track. And we got 70 base capture points. The WN8 for that match was 3,468, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. We got second most damage with 1,032, 3 kills, and a base experience of 720. We had 22 shots, 13 hit, 11 pen. Total damage was 1,032 from a distance of more than 300 meters, 694 of that. Got hit twice, 1 Pendus, 1 bounce for 115. Damage 5, destroyed 3. Damage with our assistance was 292, and base capture points was 70. We shot all standard rounds except for just a couple premiums, so we made 30,238 credits. So yeah, not too shabby. Like I said, it's nothing to write home about, nothing really too special. Basically, it's just a premium tank that you know, has a little bit of spaced armor that really doesn't do much of anything, it seems like. You know, but also, like I said, I was low tier, you know, bottom tier in a tier 6 and tier 7 matches, so pretty much standard rounds are going to rip right through you. Haven't got a match where I was top tier on this, so, you know, could be a different outcome when you're top tier, but bottom tier, yeah, and you don't get preferential matchmaking. Yeah, you can see I had 3 matches. That's 1 win out of 3 matches. So, yeah, I just keep getting teams of real masterful tankers. But anyways, yeah, so, yeah, just I would stick around, get it for free. The only reason I got it was because you got a bunch of these personal reserves, and you got some gold with it, and you got the tank, and you got some special camo. But otherwise, I would just go through and just get the, you know, go the free route, because you only need 30 points. I'm only up to 10. I wouldn't probably be able to get it in time anyways, because I'm just not able to get on consistently every day to do those 30 missions to get it. Yeah, I might have. Who knows? But, yeah, so anyways, I hope you enjoyed that match. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I'll see you on the battlefield.